See some people in the chat already. Awesome. Glad to have you here already with me. Domain to Profit. It is Monday, 3 p.m. I just was upstairs at my office building here and looked down. I'm like, oh, crap. It's like 2:58. I guess I should head on downstairs and do the show. And Matt was up there like ready to pounce to let everybody know that I was late. But I appreciate it. Anyhow. Well, here we are, Monday. I am back in home turf, meaning I'm here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Cincinnati Bengals going to the Super Bowl this Sunday. That's kind of exciting. So, home team. We are going to look at some domain names. We're going to look at digital real estate. What the heck is digital real estate? Well, if you're a domain investor, you already know. Digital real estate is, digital real estate is domain names, right? You got all these addresses, like here in the building I'm in, we have our address, and that's how people know where we are. And it was a blank lot, it was an empty lot, and then somebody went along, built a building on it, and now we pay rent to that business owner, and just how real estate works, right? Nothing new. And while we've been here, the person that owned the building, they sold it for a good amount of money. And I'm sure that will happen over and over again. So that's just real estate. And now, what about digital real estate? What about domain names? That's where I've hung my hat for many, many years. It's where many of you in the chat, the community out there, hang your hat as well. And digital real estate, domain names. So instead of that mailing address, we have internet addresses, domain names. So what the heck, for example, development projects that I've done in the past, towing.com, what is that? It's just a domain name that people go to when they're expecting to find towing related stuff. That's what we do. And that in turn, we use that to generate revenue just by giving people what they're expecting when they type that in. Oh, anyhow. Well, it's kind of funny when you run down. I literally ran down here and hit go live. So, say hi in the chat if you haven't already. Make sure you've liked, subscribed to the channel, the video, and make sure you're introducing yourself to this awesome community that we have that get together each Monday at 3 p.m. to look through expiring domain names, that virtual real estate, so we can all together grow, become better digital investors and developers. I'm Drew Walsh, Domain to Profit. See you on the other side of this.
From domain to profit, from a .com to a business idea. Take a domain name, develop an income from domain to profit. We'll show you how. Domain to profit, from domain to profit. Join Drew Walsh and get started right now.
I got to get the music. I got to keep it going. Like I just want to sit there and dance to it. Probably my daughter loves the Domain to Profit audio. It's one of the first things I did when I was like, I'm going to do a web stream. Got to have music. Anyhow, got L Couch here. Awesome, nice. Thanks for saying hi. First one commenting, and I don't believe I've seen you in here before. So welcome to the community. We're glad to have you as well as all those here that are maybe the first time visiting us. Matt, thanks for welcoming as well. And indeed, Houday, that's the Buckeye cheer. And Ian, nice to have you back. Kimberly as well. I love seeing all the comment, the faces that I get to see each week. I hope that that your lives are going well, that good things are happening for you, especially in the domain world. Jake, what's up, man? What's up? And let's see, a little muffled. A little muffled. Okay. Well, thank you for that. I will. Okay, it's going to the right place. So it's probably just, we'll see what happens. And let me see here. I'm just checking out the chat. I spent a couple minutes just in the chat saying hi to everybody, and then we dive right into looking through expired domain names. So whether you're watching on Restream or live, this is it. Like, the community is it. So yeah. Well, welcome, because this live is indeed the best place to do it. As you see, if you've watched us on Restream, you see that sometimes, somewhat frequently, we will find a domain name that is actually expiring just, around the end of the show. So those opportunities are missed if you watch it on Restream. And dagnabbit, I really like to, I like to give opportunities to people. So I actually like it when that happens. I want the people that are here with me live, those people that are hanging out with me, I want you to have the best opportunities. And then everybody on the Restream, like there's good stuff out there for you, but join me here live. This is meant to be set up as a live show. So, okay, I'm just getting my laptop set up here, and who's ready to go to the screens? I'm ready to go to the screens. Hopefully they work okay. Oh, yep, maybe. Yep, that looks okay. So here we are, expireddomains.net. This is the free website that we use to, get an idea of, it's where we go to look for expired domains. Expireddomains.net, free resource. You should use it. As you will see, my screen looks black. Yours will look white by default. This is a setting. I like dark mode. So I do that with all my various devices and things, is set it up on the dark mode. So you do need a free account to be able to set up filters. So we're going to go over to this marketplace domain tab over here. And when that pulls up, we are going to, it is up. Okay, we're going to the GoDaddy expired domain auctions. So GoDaddy expired domain, they're the big company anymore. So that's why we spend our time there. And you'll see right here, let's go to the number, boom, 410,000 domain names that they have on their expiring domain names. So what does that mean? This would be just like if you were to, if you invest in real estate, like properties, well, this would maybe be like foreclosure auctions or like repossession type houses or things like that. So these are people that are 410,000 domain names that are expiring because the previous owner decided to not renew it, or for whatever reason, it's fallen through the cracks, and that means it's your opportunity. So you'll find that in these 410,000 domains, that, 99.99% of them are complete garbage, which is why we do this show. We want you to be able to, weed out the garbage, be able to look at a list, filter a list of 410,000 domains down to the ones that give you the best opportunity at developing something, whether it's a side project, a blog, a full-out enterprise that can make millions for you. Whatever it is, the filters that we're going to set up here are going to be what help you look for the best domain names for development primarily. We do look at some other ones, but development is our primary function here. So on our filters, we get rid of numbers, we get rid of hyphens. Hopefully you know why we can do that, just kind of in your gut. Those things don't really matter to 99% of any kind of project. Then we go to English words, 1 to 3. Change it as you wish to your own language, but English being the primary language of especially business, we were looking for that. 1 to 3 words, yes. Can you find 4-word domain names that are good? Sure. Do we want to include them in our list? Probably not. It's just going to add too much to it. 3 words we found is the right place to do it. Start there. You can expand as you, if you have a ton of time, then sure, go do as you wish. But for the sake of time, we go down to that. And then we go over here. We want to look at domain names that end the auctions. You see that? Okay. We want domains that are going to end within the next week. So we apply those filters that take us from 410,000. Actually, that didn't get rid of as many as what it usually does. So we must have a lot of domains this week. 82,000 domain names right up there is what we're going to be looking through. The first 600 of. Let's find out what kind of quality we have. So let me raise my desk. Hopefully I don't cause anything to wig out here. Okay. So right there on top, you see roadwarrior.com. Roadwarrior.com. I enjoy that place. I'm just now seeing this list for the first time. So sometimes I'll pre-look at some of the domain names. This week I did not. We are seeing these domain names for the first time together, which means you get to see me go through the research that hopefully you go through as well. This is Spy Foo that I just pulled up. Spy Foo, hopefully you can see that up there. Spy is in, well, spy. FU is in friendly undertaking, something like that, .com. So what we do with this is we go to check out how many times people search for that keyword. I'm just typing in Road Warrior. That's it. Road Warrior, 11,000 searches because, yes, it's a popular phrase. We call road warriors business travelers, right? At least here in the U.S., that's what I a lot of times love to be a road warrior. I love to be out there traveling around, doing my business. That's why I still do trade shows and things at times for my different development sites. I just love to be out there talking to people because right now in this moment, I am here in a office by myself. My team's upstairs, but I spend a lot of time just solo, right? So I want to be around people at times. Just a preference. Your work, your business should be about your preferences. You're working towards getting exactly what you want in life. So for me, I like the road warrior life. 11,000 searches is a lot. What I'm expecting is this right here. Exactly. So we like to see, I look for advertisers to be double digits. I want 10 or more advertisers. Cost per click is secondary, but I also like to see that to be around $2 or more. So while we have a ton of traffic, we don't have as much like development opportunity. We don't have that, there's people that are putting money in to reach this keyword. So that definitely takes it down a notch. So, if you're looking for just eyeballs, this could be a good domain name for you. If you're looking for people that are trying to throw money at a certain keyword, then this one might not be the right one for you. So we look at this here for secondary keywords. What are other ways that we can develop traffic? And there's not a whole lot happening here. Road Warrior is the primary one, which is why I like this domain. So this third column over here, which let me see, my head might be in the way of. Yes, it is. So this third column over here, the questions tell us what kind of content we can place on our site. So if you, I don't know what the heck a road warrior, like if you don't know what to put on this site, these questions here help you develop your content. So now, what is a road warrior? Boom, you answer that, and that gives you access to potentially 250 more people that are searching for that, and you could probably draw on some content for that. Same with this, where are road warrior tires made? Some of those things I probably would avoid. So third column, those questions give us the content that we can add to a topic we don't know anything about. The similar keywords show us other topics that we might be able to pick up traffic from on our website. And this primary one just kind of shows us like, what's the value of this domain name? When I see these numbers, the value looks to be, for me, I mean, because there's so few advertisers, this one falls in that the development price, $2,000 to $4,500 is what I'm rough estimating that. Now, if you're looking for, so we're going to lose this to an investor, is what it comes down to, because an investor is going to be likely valuing this domain name closer to $10,000, $11,000, just because of the phrase. So you'll see right here, ends in 3 days, $2,100 currently. So if you, as a developer, which I'm a web developer, development is the way we want it. We want these domains in the hands of people that are going to develop them, use them, put on those domains what people expect to find on them. So if you're looking to build a website that deals with business travel, so Road Warrior, great brand for it, great opportunity to do something business travel related. While $2,100 is the starting bid that you're going to be looking at to get into that. That's going to end in 3 days. What can you do for business? So Road Warrior, business travel. I would avoid hotels. I would avoid flights, those things that are kind of common out there. I would look for more like, luggages. What service could we put together for them? I don't know. Maybe co-working. You could do something. You want something that's service related that you can charge a monthly fee for. I want that at least. That's what I look for. I look for passive income, something I can put up. Not really seeing it on, since I'm not going to be the buyer of this one, I'm likely going to move on from it. So that's roadwarrior.com. Great domain name if you're looking for an investment. And was it a movie? There is one that is it Road Warrior? I think it's something else. That Mel Gibson, I don't know. I love movies. I just suck at the names of them. And another audio thing. Test. I'll just bring it out. Hopefully that does the trick. Keep me up to date on if the audio continues to have issues. I'll keep an eye on it. So hopefully that does the trick. Okay. And then this one, L. Couch here is mentioning the per GoDaddy $10,000. GoDaddy, we order our list. So this list that you see over here is ordered by the GoDaddy Appraisal. And what we want to do is pretty much take what they appraise it at and ball it up and throw it into the garbage. It's a great way to order your list, these 40 or 80,000 domains that we're looking at. It gives us a way to know which ones are probably better than others. But in most cases, the GoDaddy Appraisal is a bit odd. Okay, I'm going to step away for 1 second and look at this. So, not sure what is going on with my audio. Hopefully, we can get it taken care of. Okay. So yeah, I talked about the GoDaddy Appraisal usually pretty frequently, but we usually don't. It's just made up number. It's a GoDaddy made up number is really what it comes down to. So we don't spend a ton of time on it. If you're looking for an appraisal, you're better off to go to like the SpyFu and take this number and do like essentially a multiplication against the cost per click. So if you were to take this cost per click, 1.49, multiply it by the monthly volume, that gives you kind of a retail number. That's like the high-end retail number of the price for this domain name. However, the reason why I took it down to like 4,500 is because as a developer, I care about the money that is available to develop this domain name. How many customers are going to be out there? How many people are going to be willing to pay me to advertise or to participate in my domain development? And in this case, we only have 2. So I like to see it at 10 or higher. So I basically, it's 50% of what I like it to be, or I'm sorry, 20% of what I like it to be. So I weighed that domain name down and said 2,000 to 4,500. It's a little bit of how I appraised that. If it would have been 10, for example, I would have appraised. If there were 10 advertisers reaching this, I would have said $11,000 for the value. Way too much time spent on a domain name that realistically, well, maybe you're interested in it. So hopefully you got something out of that. If nothing else, we had some good conversation on it. Apologies if my audio continues to struggle. Let me know if it's, I can go to my default audio if it has problems. The meter's showing good. The meter's showing that it's working. So, okay, I'm going to keep on moving on. So we have Choosy, Meshworks, Modern Art. So I like the reservation system, although look how long that is. I'm not a big fan of that. That and who looks for reservation system? Now, maybe if you're the SaaS product, if you create a reservation system that allows other people to have reservation systems on their website, that sounds like a pretty interesting thing. That would be the kind of generic that we'd look for that. So reservationsystem.com. 1 day left on that. I'm not a huge fan of it because it's such a long, bulky word domain name. $126. And this is where you're going to see a real deviation from the appraisal that GoDaddy has here of 7,200. Because once we type this into SpyFu, well, let's find out. Reservation system. Or maybe not. 1,100 monthly searches for that keyword. Ooh, I'm starting to like this domain name. Okay, $4.24 is what I'm seeing over here on the cost per click. And one of the things I'm always talking about, number of advertisers. Number of advertisers is like the name of the game. That number over there, that 12, means that there are lots of small businesses that are competing to like reach this topic, reach this keyword, right? Does that make sense? Like if you have all these different companies that are that run software or do something already for reservation systems, essentially what is happening is there's at least 12 of them that are willing to pay to show up, to get traction on that topic. So those 12 companies, they're going to war right now over keywords on Google. They're bidding up, which is why it's up over $4. So what we look for with some really basic development is, let's say we take reservation systems and let's go over to, let's just do a GoDaddy or a Google search. Reservation. Let's see who's like up here. Simple Book. It's exactly that. So if you're going to develop a reservation system, simplybookme.com is one that's already there. They're paying. GetApp, same thing. Reservation. They're just trying to. This is probably what we want to essentially copy. So my thought on what we could do with the domain name, if you can get this domain name for like $1,200, maybe even a little bit more than that, you can go out to those 12 advertisers. Those 12 advertisers, and you're just looking for 2, 3, 4 of them that want to set up some blue ocean for themselves. There's red ocean where it's like competitive and everybody's like freaking eating each other. There's blood in the water. It's like carnage. Like the bids go up. It's all super competitive. But then there's blue oceans, and that's where I like to hang out. I like to hang out where, nobody's really around. The domain names set up those blue oceans. They set up the opportunity for you to just be off on your own. So here's what it is. These advertisers, they're looking for blue oceans too. They're looking for a way that they can reach reservation system keywords without paying a fortune. Well, maybe you can do that for them. Maybe you can set up a way that reservationsystem.com, 2, 3, 4 of them pay a flat monthly fee to be a featured reservationsystem.com product. And what you essentially do is you review them. You highlight the benefits, the negatives of each system, and you put them out there. And maybe you go as far as to rate and give your thoughts on each one or not. Up to you. Depends on how much you want to be involved. But if you can get them to pay $100 a month, $200 a month, $100 a month, like something minor, you could be earning $200 to $400 a month off a very simple 1 to 2 page website that is just using that authoritative domain name. So now they can go around to their customers and be like, oh yes, we're a featured reservationsystem.com product. You could find us there. And now people like, oh yeah, they're featured there. Like, it's a great domain name, authoritative, validates what they're doing. It's worth $100 to a small business. And if you don't believe me, just try. Like, I'm a small business. I pay money to do things like that. Would I do it on that? I don't know. I don't run a reservation system. So that's reservationsystem.com. I do like that one. And I want to, I'm probably going to go ahead and place a bid on that. Let's go ahead and do a little biddy bid. Anybody else on that? So this is one of those insider things. Ends in a day. I'll go ahead and do so Don't bid me up unless you're going to bid me over. I'd appreciate that. So I usually do not. I always recommend to you that you don't bid until 5 minutes left in the auction, right? Well, in this case, because there was already a bid, a couple $100 was already in there, it ends in a day. It's going to be competitive. There's nothing that's really going to be able to change that. It's going to be a competitive auction. Shows up right on top of the list already. I usually do the 5. So I may put more into it. I'm not sure. Maybe reach out if you love the domain name. Otherwise, there's no hard feelings if you outbid me. Just don't be the guy that goes $1 under me just to, I mean, you can be that guy, but if I ever figure out who the heck you are, I'll ban your ass from the show. This is a freaking community. Be a good community member. Feel free to message me if you're interested in it. I'm not in love with it, but at the same time, it does fit a little bit of our business model. So I like it. Spa Beauty, that's a close one. Let me check over to chat real quick. I do have to go back and forth on Windows. So L Couch here. Was curious to how to use SpyFu. So glad to see there's no number of advertisers info. So yeah, that actually, the info that I show in that lower part is actually from Google. Like Google provides that directly to SpyFu. The thing I love about SpyFu is, and I've not talked about this in a while, so give me 1 second to pull this up. So this down here, you can see it says specifically Google provided data. What you'll notice with this though is Google provides this data, but it's BS. It's not really all that great of data. This is helpful. This is helpful. This number here depends on so many different factors that what SpyFu does is they change that number. So you'll see Google is reporting 2,400 searches. They're reporting 2,400 searches per month, and SpyFu is saying there's only 1,100 of them. Why is that? Well, if we go back to what shows up on Google, here's what SpyFu is doing for us and why I love this tool. I will pay them. I've been saying that for over a year. I don't pay them currently. I use their free account, mostly just to show you that there is a free account that you can do this without paying anybody. So why does that number drop? Because SpyFu looks and says, okay, well, because there's so many advertisers for it, Google is going to put as many advertisers on top as possible. But then they're also doing this whole, they have this garbage content on the top, and then they have questions. So SpyFu is doing calculations saying, okay, Google is packing in all kinds of other stuff on top of these natural rankings. So even though there's 2,400 searches in a month, you really only going to have a chance at reaching 1,100. So this Khan Academy thing here, Khan Academy, which I wonder what they're showing up for reservation system. Long story short, they only have a chance at 1,100 searches is what SpyFu is telling us with this number. And if you can get more details by hovering over the question mark and looking into that some. But it's super helpful to know, especially in local stuff, that number that SpyFu provides will be a lot more accurate than Google shows you. Like, for example, towing. Google shows the number 200,000 searches. Well, I can tell you that that's not accurate because Google packs in map stuff, ads, local, it's just freaking, to get to the actual search results, you have to go down really significantly. So it's much more like 30, 40,000 a month. And we know that because that's right in line with what we generate from them. But it's not 200,000. It's so much nicer if it was. Oh, baby hug. Quick Locksmith, more of a brand. Supervirus. But you see things like that and you think, oh, that's a good domain name, but what would you do with it? Just because it sounds like a good domain name, unless there's money on the other side of it, like it's not. It's worth zero. So let somebody buy that for a couple $100 and waste their money because they're going to hold on to it forever. Maybe they'll get lucky and sell it off, but unless you can come up with a way to make money from it, we're not looking for just good domains. We're looking for ways to really give us a chance at developing a business, developing a product, service. At least that's what I look for. Somebody like that, what was it? Reservation system. Get that for a couple $1,000 or $1,000 and voila. Like, I mean, what would you, $400? Like, okay, $200 a month. If you can develop it, a couple hours, use you don't even need to do code, and you have people provide you the content to put on that website, and then you just format it, put it out there, get their approval, boom, $200 a month, automatic, reoccurring, done through your Stripe account or your Braintree account, heck, PayPal account, whatever it is. You don't have to be some big corporate company. You're a small business, and you can act like that and be like, hey, we're a small business. We want to use this domain to benefit you. They're like, leave me alone. What's your domain? And be like, reservationsystem.com. And I'd be like, oh, okay, that's a damn good domain, actually. Trust me, I know this because I get this all the time in conversations. People think you're that domain investor. People are out of their mind until you apply it to an industry that they already work in. Codeeditor.com. Codeeditor.com. What do you think of that one, Matt? You like that one? Let's check out Code Editor. Something feels off on it, but 3,300. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. One search for it, not really anybody paying for it. I'm guessing this whole idea of free code editor is going to be the main thing. HTML code editor, free code editor. So if you think about this one, the term code editor, so here's how we use this middle column here. The term code editor, look, it's right here. Atom code editor, online code editor, code editor. So you have the opportunity to reach these other code, like online code editor. You own codeeditor.com, and it's on a freaking line. So you can target this traffic as well as this traffic. So you have a potential to get you can weasel your way into 6,000 searches. Same with HTML code editor. Don't you think you should maybe do boom? So you can create a database directory of different code editors, maybe. What is a code editor? This is the content over here that you're going to answer on your website. So again, kind of create content, create blog posts that will allow you to have some content, even though you maybe don't know what the heck you're doing with this domain name. Advertisers, I mean, let's see what it's going for. What was it? $255. Ends in one day. Like the domain name, half want to put a bid into it, but I'm probably going to pass. Like, nobody wants their code editor to be called code editor. So I think this one needs to be more of a directory that shows different places you could find code editors and things like that. So it's going to be more of a blog content type domain name to where people go there, find as many code editors as possible, maybe compared to each other, reviews, ratings, and things, and then can go to them. So you're going to make money off content. I don't like making money off content because it goes up and down based on traffic. I do it. I just don't like it. I don't like the up and down. I prefer that monthly reoccurring info. That monthly reoccurring revenue is much better. It's definitely what I prefer. Don't we all? Don't we all just prefer the monthly reoccurring? Okay. Moving on. I do like codeeditor.com though. It's a good domain name. If you can get it for cheap, then go for it. Okay. Just pulling up Kimberly's comment about SpyFu. And yeah, I love SpyFu. I actually pay quite a bit of money to semrush.com because we use them for some of our search engine stuff. But realistically, SpyFu, like, it does a lot of stuff well, and it's much cheaper. So not a bad tool for sure. Okay, back over to the list. We'll pick up the pace a little bit. So far, we've talked about roadwarrior.com, reservationsystem.com, codeeditor.com. Such good domains. Those are really good domain names. If you had the refriedbeans.com, what would you do with that other than sell refried beans as a commodity? Man, I love seeing those big numbers, but I don't really even know what you would do with this. Because that right there, that's what I figured. A lot of times when you see those really high numbers, there's not really going to be any advertisers for it. Because who's going to want to pay money to reach 40,000 people looking for refried beans? So even though cost per click shows this, there's really nobody paying to reach this keyword. Let's see if there's any content requests how to make refried beans, which I was always surprised to know that refried beans are actually boiled beans, not fried. Why they call them fried, I don't know. Don't know. There we go. So basically some recipes. So maybe you like Mexican food, want to have a good blog or something. That would be refriedbeans.com. Let's see what it's going for. Oh, this is one of those domain names that watching the show, if you're not watching live, you're going to miss out on it. So if you're watching this on Restream, you're going, oh, refried beans, I love that one. I've always wanted that. No, you're going to miss out on it because by the end of the show, it's going to be going into the final minutes. So $1,400 is what it's going. It's a great domain name. This traffic here, the potential, but it's going to be a content play. That's what you're going to need to create something, probably recipes. I just don't know how you would make money off it. So that would be something that you'd buy as an investor versus a developer, unless you really just freaking love like Mexican food and you want to blood, sweat, and tears into it. That's not me though. So we're moving on. I will go ahead and highlight that though, and I will highlight that one as well. My smart contract, as you may know from past shows, the word "my" I actually like in front of a lot of domain names. So smart contract, great domain name. My smart contract, I don't feel it, so I'm going to skip over it. But my is not a bad word to add over top of it. Safe sax. Practice safe music, people. It's always so much fun to look through these. See, same with this virtual event, my virtual event. Like, I think that's a good domain name for probably brand more than like my virtual event. Could be software that allows you to put on a virtual event. You don't want to give that domain name does not validate. It does not provide authority necessarily. It does provide some clarity to where when you tell people like myvirtualevent.com, what do you expect to find on that domain name? Well, I expect to find your virtual event that you're hosting. Yeah, exactly. So if you're building a database of different virtual events, they plug into it and they want to promote it through your site, you can build that out on my virtual event. Let's see what it's going for. It's not my favorite one. Sounds rather difficult to do, which I like easy. You like easy? Come on, you like easy too, right? So ends in 2 days. My virtual event, $30 currently. See, SpyFu is not going to help you because of the my in front of it. So this is going to be one of those things where virtual event, probably tons of search. My, not so much. So you're just going for that little bit of validation and just the simplicity and clarity of your domain name. For that reason, I'm going to skip over it. Outstanding branding. Sounds horrible. Camfly. scanner reviews. What is it, 1999, 2002 or something? People, I don't know, scanners. I used to have a scanner. Used to have a really good scanner. The Naked Hustle. Flawless English. So I know that English is a second language. Online, there's a lot of people that teach English as a second language. Flawless English falls into a bit of a brandable in that. Could possibly do something with that. The only thing, flawless is a word, not sure if that, you'd have to translate it into, like it would need to make sense in other languages. I don't know if flawless would. So for that reason, I'll call that a pass. Okay. Moving on, not through the first, and as always, just for the new folks that might be joining us, if you see a domain name that I'm passing over, that I've skipped over, that I've not talked about or analyzed, and you're like, why is he not talking about that one? It's freaking brilliant. Feel free to call it out in chat. I can talk about it or let you know why I passed it. I see lots of good domains here that would be fun to have in a portfolio, but realistically, I don't want to own them because they're never going to get developed. Like if you have a portfolio of domains, you're going to develop the ones that are best, right? The ones that provide you the best opportunity the fastest. And we talked a few weeks back about 2x2 decision making, and exactly that. Like if you were to put all of your domain names, all of your potential projects into a 2x2 grid, which ones should you work on first based on how fast you can do it, the revenue that you can generate, your interest or passion for that industry that you're going to be building out. You put all those different things together, do the ones that interest you the most, that can be done the fastest, and make the most. And so many of these that I see here, can you do something with them? Absolutely. But will they be on top of your list of things to do? Most likely not. Refurbished products. I bet you there's a crap load of traffic for it. Sounds like a horrible, I don't want to actually build it, but am I spelling that right? No, I'm not. Help desk, boom, got it. Thank you, technology. That keeps me from showing off my most ridiculous spelling abilities. Okay, refurbishedproducts.com. There's actually less search volume than what I expected to have. That means that I'm pretty much thinking this domain's a big skip. Close to double digits here, but look at that cost per click. So let's go back over to here. We'll click on the domain name. And refurbished products. So that one ends in 6 days, currently $12. So you implement the last 5-minute bid tactic on this one if you go for it. If you can get it for cheap, I mean, a couple $100, no reason not to get it and go after something. We'll kind of skip off on it. I apologize for muffled sound. I see somebody else on this time LinkedIn mentioning the muffled sound. Okay. We had the mention and then the it's fine now. And evidently LinkedIn does not let me see who it is specifically, but thanks for watching. I know we're over on LinkedIn. Feel free to join us over on YouTube. That is where many of us do it, but LinkedIn works as well. Rank socials, use Jaguars. I like a couple of those. If you're in love with them, then we can talk about them, but at the same time, like they're self-explanatory and not really something I'm interested in messing with. So on to page 2. So now we've looked at 200 different domain names: roadwarriors.com, reservationsystems.com, codeeditor.com, refriedbeans.com, which he doesn't like refried beans. My virtual, what was this one here? myvirtualevent.com, which, yeah, kind of an okay one. Then the refurbished products.com are where we are so far. Patio Guy, I'm sure there's some guy out there that builds patios on houses that would love to have it as a brand. So in the virtual real estate front, that would be more of probably you'd buy it in order to put it in somebody's hands for a couple $1,000s. I don't like that. That's not my thing. I am a domain developer. I buy to develop. But if you buy that for a couple $100, I'm sure there's somebody out there that would pay $1,600 for it or more. Maybe. I'm just not that guy. But it is a brand. Bud Tinder. If it was Tinder as in bartender, that would actually be, I know that domain, budtinder.com with an E, is probably $100,000 domain name. As the guy that owns bartenders.com and BuzzTinder and buzztenders.com, I kind of know these things. That one is a misspelling, though, so I don't know what the hell that would be used for. So skipping over it, Size Masters, Black Gold Coffee. I try not to read out loud. I hope that's cool. Wow. I feel like the domain names just went from being pretty good to being complete crap. Road trip challenge. If I was a 19-year-old kid or 20-year-old, I used to do all kinds of little hacky projects, just kind of tossing things together. So like Mark Zuckerberg, if you remember, like he do like hot or not or something like that. He did like a rating the attractiveness of the people on campus, or that, like when you're at that starting the program and just want to do some fun stuff, I could see Road Trip Challenge being a fun little like game or survey thing that you put together. In the U.S., we play license plate games, so you keep track of your license plates. Road Trip Challenge could have the license plate game, and you can go there and keep track of like you can do those little hacky things. Will you make money off it though? Probably off content, maybe. You can go the route that like Waze, the app Waze that does maps and stuff, and they show ads from local stuff. You can maybe try to go that way. I don't know. I do like the domain name. Let me actually go back up and what's that going for? Like if you can get this one for like $70, $80 and just get like a cheap domain, I would love to see this in the hands of basically a kid or somebody that's going to develop it. And if you're a college student out there and you love the idea of developing a road trip challenge thing, I'll buy it for you. Just let me know. Hit me up on Twitter. I'm not going to mess with it because I know it's going to sit on the bottom of my portfolio. But like I said, I could see that being just a fun project to sit around and hack something together with friends. Maybe that's just my road warrior dad thing happening. Like nobody has a good like license plate game website. Okay. 50 minutes in, starting to struggle to find good domain names. It happens. We got to pick up the pace in hopes of getting to some good stuff here. Hold your own. I love popular phrases. I don't know what we would do with hold your own. I like to quickly in my brain, like when I see a common phrase, that means people say it. When do they say it? When would somebody say, hold your own? It's a defensive type of thing. So when does defense come into play? When do you need to hold your own? Competitive business, competitive sports. I don't know. So if you have something that kind of is a defensive thing, holdyourown.com, great marketing domain name possibly. I could see if you get it for $80 or less, might be worth grabbing. But again, that's more of a content or marketing play. So instead of developing it for the sake of its own product, it might be something you develop to be a marketing campaign for something. So for example, maybe towing.com, one of the benefits of towing.com we say is it helps you rank higher in search engines, or if you already rank well, it helps you protect your ranking by making sure that other people can't, outcompete you by getting a link from a quality website. It helps you hold your own.com. So we could put together a marketing campaign that talks about hold your own and how towing.com or some website out there allows you to hold your own in the search engine rankings when you're already ranking well. So you can do a whole marketing campaign around that, put it on its own custom domain name that is kind of a fun domain, and voila, now you are known as the defensive tool based on a domain name. Yeah, that we don't actually talk about using it for marketing campaigns often, but man, when they are like UPS, what can Brown do for you? Brown.com, that's a marketing campaign. They paid a lot of money just to have a domain name for their branding for a marketing campaign. A lot of these, you can do that in your business as well if you're running with it. So firework displays could be a fun little blog if you're a firework enthusiast. Check back over to chat. It's been a while since I've looked over there. I hate the now we have another person saying this. I'm not sure what the whole muffled thing is. I'll have to hear it back on replay and see if I can debug it. Apologies if the sound is continuing to be in and out. Like everything's connected. I show a good signal. Yeah. I hate it. I hate that there's issues with sound. There's nothing worse than sound, and I put a good amount of time and effort into keeping things clear. So that way, even if you're not watching the video, at least you can hear kind of in a podcast form. So I'll check it out. It's been a while since I've had issues, so I'm not sure what's going on. Baby investor? That just sounds weird. Like, who owns that? Obviously nobody. They're letting that crap go. I'm wondering. I'm wondering if let me just look at a setting real quick on my audio. Okay, everything looks fine. I was thinking maybe it was this audio was coming from a mic that it wasn't supposed to, but okay, moving on. You try to do a simple web show, and it's always something. It drives me insane. I got it much better than what it used to be, but at least, okay, I'm not saying any more about it because things will start to go wrong, and I don't want that. You know how that is. Okay. Michigan tickets. Why would anybody want Michigan tickets? Go Bucks. There we go. Fired through those 200. So we're down to the last 5 minutes. That has me thinking, so let me go to the next page. I'm going to look at the first page. I'm going to go page down twice on this page here. Maybe we'll get lucky. If somebody has a domain name that they've seen that they want me to go into, we haven't talked about a domain in a while, and I hate that. So as you may imagine, you can go through this stuff. You can keep going, put together the filters, run down through these, and you can continue your search as well as, let's go up to the top. In fact, let's go to saved searches. Let's check on we have saved searches. So one of the things you can do with this free site, expireddomains.net, is you can save your searches and filters to quickly get at some domains and keywords, things that you're looking for. So if you have some keywords you want me to look up, I can do it right now over at live real quick. If you hit it up in chat. So this is a saved search for cannabis domains. So it's just with the word cannabis in it. Same filters outside of that. And it allows us to, instead of looking at 80,000 domain names, now we're looking at 80. Like seriously, just 80 domain names with cannabis in them. And sometimes you can quickly, cannabis by doctor, not a bad Domain name possibly. Okay. Cannabis is one of the keywords I look at a lot. I won't spend time on towing, but towing is one I do. Look at storage. We've had some luck on that. What industry do you come at this from? What industry do you look for? Type it in. Mover storage. We've seen that one all around for a while. How many domains we got here? 88 again. So by doing those searches, and actually, let me go down one more page. Let me go up top, and I'll show you how to set these up. So what we've done with these saved searches is we have just added in a contains here. So back over to the filters, we added in the keyword that we're looking for over there. And with that keyword, you put it in the contains, or if you wanted to start with that word, or if you want to put in a partial word, it's kind of like good, like it's an exact match text search. So you want to type in, for example, when I have my towing filter, I have one that's towing, but another one that's just tow, T-O-W, that will show all the towing ones as well, but it allows me to find things like tows in variations on a common phrase. So for storage, you might want to do S-T-O-R, and then maybe you might get storing, storage, variations on that. And all that is that contains right there. And then you would go down, apply the filter, and then if you want to save it as a keyword search, you just use a little, little floppy disk. I mean, does anybody like under like 38 or so even know what the heck a floppy disk is? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Let me head back over to the chat, hang out with peeps for a little bit. And maybe a cable closet just went out again. It went out. I don't know. This is it's literally a wireless mic. I don't know what to like. It's a wireless mic. Don't know what to tell you. Like there should be no cable. Like it goes here to the transmitter, the wire. Like I don't know. I'm gonna play it back later on and make sure it doesn't happen in the future. So apologies that that we had some sound issues. Hopefully I didn't get in the way of too much. Let me just summarize one more time some of the domain names that we found, which we have some good ones here this week. I'll pull up the screen actually. Let me go back over. So the domains that we found that we talked about quite a bit. Roadwarrior.com, the first one we talked about, it's going to go for big money, but there's big traffic behind that one. That one ends in 3 days. Reservationsystems.com, I'm in on this one. So I love this one just from that simple development of showing a few solutions for reservation systems. That one ends in 1 day. I like that one as well. Feel free to reach out to me if you love it also, because I'm probably going to go higher, but at the same time, it's going to be lower part of my portfolio, so it won't be developed probably for another 2 years. So I'd much rather go to somebody that's going to develop it more soon or more quickly. We talked about a domain for reservation system. We talked about a simple business model, $100, $200 a month, consistently reoccurring with very little development. So 1 day left for codeeditor.com. We talked about that one as well. More of a domain name that you would put a directory of code editors versus building a code editor. But hey, you do you. If you're really into that and want to program crazy stuff, then go for it. Refried beans ending in 19 minutes. The keyword volume was really high, as you saw on refried beans, but there's not many people really paying for it. So it's going to be more of a content play. So you're going to make your money off of advertisers or people trying to you have to build up traffic and people coming to your domain name and to your website that you're going to build, and you're going to monetize that, which is not one of my favorite things to do, but it is a great domain name, as you can see, already going up over $1,500. MyVirtualEvent.com, I was picturing it as a database of virtual events. That way people can use MyVirtualEvent.com / their path to their virtual event, and you can create a one-stop place to go and navigate to virtual events, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, or whatever else. Not really loving it, but it's there for you. $30, ends in 2 days. Refurbishedproducts.com, don't like it much, but there you go. It had some good search volume. That one, because it's 6 days away, currently $12. When you see those bids at $12 are really low, you want to wait until they apply the 5-minute, 15-second strategy where just before 5 minutes, you place your max bid as a reserve bid. That way you're not drawing attention from other investors or other people that want to buy that domain. This is a strategy I highly recommend. Road trip challenge. This one I do like. I see this as if you're young, you're learning the program, you want to put some time into something that's fun. If you'll develop it, I'll buy it for a few $100 for you to develop out. Willing to do that, or you got to grab it yourself as well. It's a nice, cute little domain. I just asked that you build me a game that I can do, like the license plate challenge. So if I'm gonna be on a road trip, I need a game that like lets me mark all the license plates. You know, Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, California. License plate game. Anybody other than me? Yeah. Okay. And then holdyourown.com. I talked about a marketing strategy put together for that, possibly. Not really loving the domain name itself, but you know, it can hold its own. Boom. Let's see what I did there. Okay. Well, there we go. Apologies again for the little bit of sound issues we have. I'll work on that as well. Domain to Profit. Thanks for everybody hanging out with me here, checking out the chat. Yeah, there you go. I go Bengals. I am, but go Bengals. Freaking Cincinnati. I love it. I'm a Cincinnati guy. Oh, we're born and raised here. I'm born and raised here, and we don't really get much other than like being known for old stuff. So it's kind of fun that like present right now, the world's going to be able to focus on Cincinnati a little bit. Marketing company for Taco Bell. Taco Hell, yes, it is indeed. So there you go. I mean, refried beans. Just last night we had a double-decker taco, a soft taco, refried beans, and then a hard shell taco on the inside. I love my tacos. What can I say? If there's one thing you need to know about me, domain names are primary, and then tacos. Tacos are important. Nachos as well. All righty. Well, thank you for joining me. If you're watching this on Restream, thanks for hanging out. And you will want to watch this live with us because each week at 3 p.m., we come together as a community of domain developers looking for opportunities that we can build to create the lives that we want. So make sure if you're on YouTube that you subscribe and like this video and join us next week, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be right back here with better sound. And we'll be talking about domains and finding opportunities for you to pursue. I'll see you next week. Take care.